Got it. Welcome back to another episode of If They Won't Listen. It is me, your co-host, Leon Andrews, with my wife, Haley. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Because there is an audio portion to the podcast.
I know. They were going to do it. Whatever.
All right, fair enough.
Fine.
Okay, good. And then with me, as always, my other co-host is Mr. Rich. How we doing?
Good, as always, has been lesser lately since I met Erica here. But since I couldn't get away from her for longer than 5 minutes, we decided to just do it with her. This is Erica.
Hi, Erica.
But so you were talking about having some car trouble, man. So like, what's going on there?
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin?
So about a couple weeks ago, our dome light, the part that controls all the dome lights, that thing just randomly fell.
The whole console.
Whole thing, just like
that has the sunglass thing and everything. It
everything
just was hanging in the car. It was awful.
We're going to go do a checkup. We come right back to the car and it's just hanging. We went, what?
It's like a gaping hole in the roof of my car. So there's also that
sunroof.
Definitely not. It would have been nicer.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice. But then, so we were gonna go take care of that last Saturday. And then when we were on our way to the car place, the Nissan dealership, we get reamed from behind.
Reamed from behind.
Yeah, we get hella reamed from behind. This guy did not see us. He just like right into our backside.
He actually accelerated into us.
Yeah, he thought he can go.
He wasn't slowing down.
It wasn't
he
like
was speeding up.
If you've ever been in a car accident, you know the difference when someone is slowing down and they just, misjudge the distance and they kind of hit you and you go, whoa, what was that? This is the guy goes, I think I can go. Bam! Oh shit, there's someone in front of me.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so he was looking to the left. Long story short, he was found at fault and now we have to get our bumper replaced. Yeah.
Well, that's a hell of a story, man. From dome light to the back of your car.
Yeah. Oh, and then our brake pads.
All these things. My car is like falling apart right now. It's terrible.
Yeah. Our brake pads was as thin as Ally McBeal. It was just hella thin. So you don't get the reference. It's totally fine.
I don't, but it doesn't lose on me. So when
that was the show with the dancing babies, right?
It was the show about the girl that's a lawyer.
There was a dancing baby.
I'm sure there was. I've only seen 2 episodes of the show, and I never
That's
bothered.
The only thing I remember.
I never bothered watching that show ever again. It came out like in 1997, I think. I don't like
the year I was born.
Yeah, no. When I got to her house, it's a house full of ladies, and yeah, so I helped them do their brake pads and check their oil and run through all their cars. So I was like, "When's the last time it was done?" And they were like, I was like, "Okay, that means it should be done."
I get that. I wish I was a little bit more mechanically inclined to do this kind of things. Like at least know how to change my own damn oils. I don't have to spend $68 every so often on it. I just have to take the time to actually just do it.
Oil's pretty. It's not that competitively priced, to be honest. I mean, like the 5 quarts of oil you need to replace, your car with is like $50 already. And the filter's like $3. So like when someone charges you like $70 for an oil change, they're taking like $12. Like
that kind of makes sense because they're like, all right, we'll do this really quick and charge you an extra 12.
Yeah,
it's kind of a convenience charge. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I outsourced that. Hey, so we just recently we watched. She had already seen Don't Breathe, and so we watched that. She came over Friday morning. We watched that before I went to work, and then I got home. I worked like 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. And so I get home at 2 a.m. and she'll sleep from like 11 to 2, and then we get up and spend more time together. But so we watched Don't Breathe 2 after that. Have you guys seen either?
I wasn't even aware there was the Don't Breathe 1.
It's about a blind guy and these kids, like there's like 4 like adultish kids, and they're gonna go like rob this house so they don't have to do it again, get the money.
My God.
They need. And he's blind. They don't realize though he's like ex-Marine or whatever, or ex-Navy SEAL. So, and he's not a great man. So
he's not a great man.
I believe that's actually based on a true story. That actually happened years ago.
I hope not exactly like that, because there's a part in that that's like
Well, yeah, he was an old person. I wouldn't say he was exactly blind, but I remember this. But he was quite the maniac. He was trained in some sort of hand-to-hand combat and firearms and stuff, and he was kind of nutso bananas. And these
Not
kids
so
broke.
banana.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can use it anytime. And then these kids broke into his house, and then he stalked them all the way up into the basement and shot one, and then waited for the other one to come check, and then shot them too, and recorded the whole thing that was used in court at a later date. Because he goes, I was defending myself. They broke in and blah blah blah. It's like, no, you could have just waved a gun and said, get the hell out of my car house, you stupid kids. You had to make it into a whole thing. He did it for the lulz.
The walls. What is your like your geography? Not that I want you to dox yourself, but like are you inner city, like not like inner city, but like are you on the inside of city with skyscrapers, or are you in the country? Like, is there more trees or people?
Florida is such a different beast. I think when you get down to Florida, it's where you get to the more metropolitan. Yeah. I think
so. Are you like Orlando style, or are you like Tallahassee style? Like gators and swamps, or beaches and bathing suits?
I mean, we have gators. I mean, gators are just a normal thing. You just go around them when they're on the street. This just kind of comes with the territory, but not in the area that we live in.
We're closer to beaches.
Yeah, we're closer to beaches, and you know, there's some nature around us that we're able to find and explore from time to time. But I would say it's a city or a town. It's more of a town, but it's definitely not like a dense population as if you went to Miami. Now, Miami, that's a dense city.
Yeah.
That then you're really in a city, and then you can be on the outside of the city, which when I was a teenager, I did live on the outside of Miami's downtown Miami, and it was so much better to live in that area.
It still gets pretty touristy.
It gets really touristy.
Super
here.
touristy.
Yes.
And then we get all the snowbirds.
Get Canadians and New Yorkers.
Yeah, a lot of Canadians.
A lot of Canadians. Got people from Quebec. You got people from Ontario. It's like, oh, boot time. We done. Yeah.
And all the people from New York live here too.
Hey, get the fuck out of here, guy. I'm driving babushkas. I don't know. I don't know anything about New York.
Spencer would know all about New York.
Yeah, Spencer. Yeah.
He seems like a New York kind of guy.
He is a New York kind of. Yeah. Did you listen to the last episode yet? Where he talks about the
I
chicken?
think she had. She listened to some of it, but I hadn't listened to much. Fill me in.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, this is sad.
That was very upsetting for my wife. I'm not going to repeat this story, but I was just wondering if you got a chance.
No, you can tell them.
No, it's fine. If they,
no.
If people want to know, they can go back to episode 53 and just be done with it. I don't need to reiterate something that's been said before. Dead chickens. I mean, come on. That's the long story short. He wanted live chickens. He ended up getting dead chickens.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
They thought that he wanted them dead, but he wanted them alive.
Oh no.
So now we have the
classic situation.
I know it happens all the time. I was telling Haley over here that, you know, if we ever go to a farm and she wants to, because she really wants a pet duck. Now I want a duck now so after bad. Listening to that story,
you have to specify
exactly.
I want it alive.
I want that duck. By the way, I want it alive.
Don't kill him.
Don't kill the duck. I want it alive. I need that duck alive. Just don't want to get it to him. They go, of course we're gonna give it to him. I go, I understand. I get that. Sometimes when you ask for hot water, people put it in a glass or in a plastic cup. They don't think to put it in a tea, but I have to ask now.
Gotta clarify everything.
Add it to the list of things.
It's so frustrating.
I'm trying to remember what movie had a chicken. The chicken almost killed. Someone walks up, like my mind's going to Rush Hour, but I can't think of the scene. They walk up to like a booth and he's like asking for directions or something. The guy pulls a chicken out and a big knife and goes to chop its head off. He's like, no. And he like throws the chicken on a cage and buys the chicken.
Sounds like Rush Hour 2.
Yeah, I think it is.
That was fucking hilarious. I was like, no, don't kill a chicken.
I never saw Rush Hour 3. I always felt that it was just too late.
Too late. They missed the window.
Yeah, it just for me. I just went, it was like when they made Anchorman 2. I go, it's been 10 years, guys. I'm good. I don't need to watch the sequel. Now, Top Gun 2, I want to see. It's because like TC is like, dude, we're gonna make a new Top Gun movie. I got Val Kilmer to be in it for like 10 seconds, and so he can get his quota.
We gotta have the Iceman. You know what I mean?
Gotta have the Iceman.
The only movie I can think of that had that long of a pause is Finding Dory.
Finding Dory.
Freaking
Never
love that
watched
movie.
Yeah, I never watched that
Ah.
either.
It was
good.
so good. It was
Yeah.
so good. I would argue it was almost better than the first. It was really
It
good.
wasn't
Yeah.
cheesy.
No, it wasn't cheesy because it's like all about Dory and like her backstory is surprisingly good.
I
And
will
it's
have to
just-
watch it now.
I know
Fun-
us with the girls.
Fun fact about the octopus, that's actually based on a true event that
The
actually happened.
septopus.
Yes.
What's a septopus?
He lost an arm, so he's a septopus.
Septopus. Yeah,
Pete
it's
Seven.
it's actually based on it's actually based on a true event that an octopus that was in captivity made a daring escape back into the ocean.
He lost
Like
an
they
arm.
just like the people came in one day and went, "Where there's supposed to be an octopus
Where's
in
it?
this tank. There's supposed to be an octopus in this tank. Where did it go?"
Where they go?
They're really smart.
They are
No,
very
they
very
can- they
smart
can-
creatures.
They can do like what a mouse can do, right? And they can like squeeze themselves down to the size of like
Yeah.
a, you know, a coffee cup or something to squeeze through something.
Smaller.
Yeah, I think where was it that they like the octopus would escape at night and he would go eat the fish and then he would
Oh,
go
my
back to
God.
I
his
remember
little
reading
thing.
that.
Yeah.
It was super cute.
Yeah, but he was smart. They had to start locking up the fish so he could.
He just wanted a midnight snack.
He goes, "I see you there. You're doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. However, I can figure out how to move my appendages around to make things work for me. So yeah, I'm gonna eat one of you tonight. Especially you.
so
Especially you, Clarice. I don't like you."
so I know you guys are wicked close. And we
yes, we're married. That's right.
Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's okay.
no, that's really funny. So we got pretty serious pretty fast. Like I met her whole family and she's met my whole family, and just everyone is exuberant about us, and it is refreshing to see. Like when I see her look over at you, Leon, there is some fireworks in the background, you know what I mean? Like they're sharper than the rock on her finger, you know what I'm saying? Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson on
You
her
don't have a
ring
rock
finger,
on your finger.
you
You don't
know.
have a rock on her finger. Show your ring. It's right there. That's the camera. There's no rock on that finger.
I think it looks nice.
Oh, is there a
It
rock?
does
on
look nice.
Oh yeah, I did get
is
you
there
one
a-
with a rock.
Is there a diamond? Is there a diamond on there?
So
I
you want to
can't
hear a
tell.
funny? So real funny story. We went through actually 4 engagement rings.
Okay.
Well, the first
I-
one that he got me wasn't the material that he thought it was. So after
Yeah.
like a few weeks, it turned completely dark gray.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh.
changing the color of my finger. And
And
I'm
then-
like,
Okay.
yeah, no, this is not.
And then she bought a placeholder ring, and then we
which
went.
I still wear.
What
This
she
one is
still
really
wears is
pretty.
that one. That's the placeholder ring she had for a while. And then she got another ring where this is where I got my ring, as I went to one jeweler that was local, and we got another one. And then my grandmother, she didn't get the message that we already got a replacement ring and got another ring. And that's the one she showed you.
Okay.
So she's
I love it.
got 4. I mean, this woman also had 4 wedding dresses. That's another story. Real simple. She
But
just
I
went
got them all for like less than $25.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
I
deal.
remember telling
So I'm like,
I have this
4 dresses
I have
for like
this-
$100.
I have this coworker and he asked me straight out after I got married, he goes, "How much did your wedding cost?" And I go, probably somewhere around $5,000 if I had to put everything together, excluding the honeymoon, $5,000. And he messaged me and goes, "Motherfucker." And when I had inquired, he said, "That's how much my wedding photographer is costing me."
Stuff
way.
stuff is super expensive. I don't know. I think we kind of talked about it a bit, and I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like, you know, getting married and with like skipping engagement and then doing a ceremony after a few years.
Okay.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
you can always do, you can always do that. What do they call that ceremony with the rope?
Oh, the hand fasting?
The hand fasting. You can always do a hand fasting.
I like hand stuff.
I love hand stuff. Feet, not so much. Gives me athlete's foot in places I don't want it.
I don't beg to differ. but um,
What'd you say? Defer?
is that not the word? What do you say?
No, I love it. That was a good one. That was a good one. I love it.
No, but what is the hand rope thing outside of innuendo?
Outside of innuendo, you want to explain it, Love?
What tradition does it come from?
I think it comes from like more pagan than anything.
It's definitely a ceremony, like joining two people together, and like they put their hands on top of each other, and then you tie their hands together, and it represents that they're like, together. It's kind of like they're married, but they have a year to be together, and then from that point on, they can decide whether they want the relationship to become even more serious.
That makes me think of like the Celtic knot, Have
Yeah.
you seen those? That's like an Irish thing, I think.
Yeah, it's similar. I think it's kind of like
so. No, it even goes far back. So hand fasting is a traditional practice that, depending on terms of passage, blah blah blah, is an unofficiated wedding in which a couple without an officiant, usually with the intent of later on undergoing a second official marriage, whatever, does this whole ceremony, a temporary wedding, if you can call it that. One can call it that, but yeah, it seems to, there it goes. And it even goes into 17th century Scotland and has been revived in neo-paganism. So that's how we knew it, because the people that we saw,
we went to one.
One of them is a Wiccan, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Wiccan. I don't know what his belief, he might as well
he just believes in whatever.
It's just like open. Sort of that open
agnosis.
Yeah, okay,
I didn't know it had an N. I thought it was Wicca. It's Wiccan.
It's Wiccan.
The Wiccan.
Yeah, Wiccan.
Sounds like you got a torch and you're trying to put the wick in.
Yeah, you put the wick in.
Yeah, but you gotta light the wick.
Bobby,
take the wick out, put the wick in.
No, Bobby, it's the candle right there. Put the wick in. The wick in. What are you, freaking retarded?
Freaking retarded. Put the wick in. or like a really New Jersey basketball coach who's got a guy named Rick, and he's like, "Hey, we're losing. Put the Rick in."
Another place where Spencer could have been. Hey, I think Spencer could have shed some light on that.
Oh, I'm sure he's got basketball coach rep.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Yeah. Real. I love me some Spencer, man. It's been fun having him back again on this show. He was missed.
I literally screamed when he made that first comment when he said thrusting matter. I literally was sitting here and I was like, I screamed, "Oh my God." And I started laughing and I told him.
Yeah. No, I was at work and she tells me she's cracking up because of something Spencer said. And I'm thinking, what do you mean something Spencer said? And then I'm like, oh God, she's got master access to the computer. Cause I opened it up, opened a bunch of games, and she's like, I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just combing through things. I'm like, okay.
I watched a lot of videos.
Just combing
might
through.
As well.
Just combing through.
You have all your, what are they? Your
porn?
No, your things on Spotify.
Oh yes, my Spotify list, not my Nickelback discography. Got
it. Your whatever that was called.
What, my playlist?
No, your podcast.
Oh, my old podcast. Oh yeah, who's listening?
You had all the old ones on Spotify.
They're still there.
I know. I listened to them.
They're still there.
How's your artistic writings going? Do you read his femboy exposés?
Oh, he loves to give me all his writings because I tell him where there's plot holes and different things that need to be fixed.
We found your editor? Wow.
No, I'm actually my editor. She's a proofreader.
She's the publisher.
Yeah, I tell him when something needs to be fixed though. I'm like, okay, this is weird. There's an incongruence.
But he was asking if you read remember the one where it's
I like that one.
I thought that was everyone you did. You changed the title?
No, it's
he makes different stories.
Yeah, I do, but no, the title still remains the same. I want to do gay things with my femboy roommates. Still the same. It just rolls off the tongue.
I like the one he wrote for me.
Oh, that one, yeah. That one I'm not putting on anywhere anytime soon.
That was for me.
That was specifically, or is it pacifically for you?
Pacifically.
Irregardless.
Yeah. Me and my buddy were joking around one time in his bedroom and we were trying to say philosophical, but we couldn't. We were just super high. We did not have the juice to say it. And so I said, yo, bro, I'm just trying to be all philosophical. and for the rest of like we will pass each other's Facebook posts, see something funny post, and just type philosophical, and dude, it's one of those things that just cracks each other up. It's hilarious when you can't remember a word, you make up what the word actually is, and then someone else says it. It's like I literally used bi-curious instead of vicarious for like a year and a half. Like no bullshit. I was like,
Well,
yeah, I just
no,
want to live
you do
vicariously through someone else.
Vicariously through
No,
you.
you do another thing. You do another thing. And know since we're on this topic, I can actually bring it up as a criticism point. You always say I could care less when you mean to say I couldn't care less, because that would imply that you couldn't care at all, even less. Whereas if you said I could care less, means you imply you care a little.
I like
to a situation you didn't really care about.
So one of the people in my family said,
yeah.
What's that thing where you say token? You're like at the token or whatever, or I forget. There's a phrase on the West where you say that, and I say it completely fucked up. Like, and I do it all the time. And
like on the flip side of the token or the flip side of the coin.
Yeah, and I say at the same token or something like that.
Oh, on that same token. Yeah.
On the same token. I say at the same token. Yeah, I'll do it mid conversation
to get there.
I know.
It took me a minute to get there, but I got it. I eventually got it.
When he kept going at it.
I once asked my dad whatever that 70s show took place in. So he just was like, ask the question again. And I got it. I was like, I'm still bad.
You know, originally, the name of the show was called Teenage Wasteland, but the testing audience that they kept putting, that they tested it for, kept calling it That 70s Show, and they just noticed it just stuck more than Teenage Wasteland, so they completely just said, "All right, we're just gonna call it that instead."
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched Teenage Wasteland, but That 70s Show seemed funny.
Right. I mean, that was. I haven't seen that show in a long time, but I did remember watching it as they came out. I remember I used to find it hilarious.
What funny shows did you watch growing up? They're like, because like I feel like nowadays there's so much sensory, like just overload from everything you can watch.
I mean, if we go back through what we used to watch growing up, we were just like Spencer. We're the Nickelodeon generation. We grew up orange, which that was the color of Nickelodeon's logo, and that was. Ren and Stimpy, Salute Your Shorts, Rocko's Modern Life, Angry Beavers, Rugrats, all that. Hey Arnold, Roundhouse was another one.
I got Secret Life of American Teenager, top 10. Rocket Power, Cat Dog, the one with Ed, and Eddie.
That's a good. Ed and Eddie is a good one.
Cow and Chicken.
Yeah.
I like chickens. That's what he said.
I think one of my favorite lines from Ed, and Eddie was it was Ed with 1D, and he popped out of nowhere when he was like outside of something, and he came out of nowhere, and it was either Double D or Eddie, and they said, "Where did you come?" It was like, where did you come from? And his response back was, "Blame my parents." And it took me. I remember it wasn't until like a second viewing of that episode at a later time. I just went, "Oh." He's talking about the fact that his parents had sex.
I always thought it was really funny in Ed, and Eddie. I always really felt for the dude with Plank, like, because like I was like, yeah, like I've known people that fucked up before, and I've when you meet someone who's really like that, you take a deep breath and you're like, could be way worse. You know what I mean? Like, I could have a 2x4 with a face on it and be cast away in the middle of this apartment.
I was gonna say it's like Wilson.
I felt for Wilson. Like, that's a real thing. Like, you can't be alone for that long. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I'd like
you create your own imaginary friends. You would.
I'd have a pineapple.
You had a pineapple?
No, I said I'd have a pineapple.
You would have a pineapple.
He was concerned for 2 seconds. He was like, "You already have a pineapple."
I do. It's in the refrigerator.
I don't buy. I mean, it would. Quite honestly, it would have made me no different. She had a pineapple named Randy Pineapple, and just. All right.
It wouldn't make me no different.
It makes me no different. I'm going to sleep tonight either way.
I'll go to sleep pineapple or no pineapple. You sleep on your side of the bed.
Keep it out of my ass is all I ask.
No, dude, TV shows. TV shows when I was younger, I feel like there just wasn't options. There just wasn't stuff to watch. So like you watched what was on. You know what I mean? Like Scooby-Doo. My dad loved Scooby-Doo. And I loved Scooby-Doo because my dad loved Scooby-Doo. And so it's like growing up, I watched an asinine amount of Scooby-Doo. And I met other kids who didn't. And it was like, what do you mean? That's the only thing that existed for that entire part of my life. There was no options. Like I didn't know what a remote was until I was like 13. You know what I mean? Like it was like I didn't choose.
We had all our channels. You were gonna say something?
Oh, I was gonna say, I just remember when I didn't have that many channels and the only thing that was on was The Simpsons. And so my mom would be sleeping. I was kind of a latchkey kid, so I would just like grow up watching Simpsons and things that I shouldn't watch.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. I grew up with a lot of channels. So Cartoon Network, I think, came into bingness like early 90s. I want to say 92 is when Cartoon Network actually became a network on cable television. But for a long time, I watched as a kid growing up. I watched whatever was on television at the time, which included G.I. Joe or He-Man, Rainbow Bright, Sanford and Son, Good Times, even though they didn't have any. But I watched Good Times, The Jeffersons.
Even though they did, that took me a second. Yeah, I mean, I watched tons of other shows too. I mean, there was my grandfather watched after like 14. If I was with any of my real family that was like grandparents, so like a lot of the etiquette I learned was from them. You know, like they grew up watching like Archie Bunker and freaking Little Rascals and the Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? I watched a bunch of those shows growing up with them, and it was funny. Like with yeah, I loved Golden Girls. Hilarious show.
What do you mean loved?
We're spam watching that right now.
Spam watching.
Yeah, we're watching that along with
Friends.
Friends and Titans. So
Titans.
Okay, we're going through a bunch of animes right now. She's watching one on her own that I've already seen, My Hero Academia. We're currently going through Demon Slayer right now because I haven't seen that and she has.
Oh, that's a good one. I
Super
could,
good.
although I could have done without the whole episode about the Spider Girl.
That just dragged on forever.
I don't care
It's like,
about
we
the
don't need
Spider
this
Girl.
background.
Just like you died an episode ago. Who cares?
I'm not gonna lie, they're fighting spider people right now.
We're just at that part. We just
Oh,
watched when he
sorry,
does like the
guys.
gentle rain, you know?
No,
we just watched that part.
No, you know what? It's not even that big of a spoiler, quite honestly, because you knew. It's just like
I
mean,
didn't
they
know what
already
you're
said-
getting into.
They already said there's 5 spider people. I was like, all right, we got the arc.
there you go.
Like I'm not
I mean-
mad. I've seen Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale has so like I learned what an arc was in Fairy Tale because I was like,
Oh.
what is this shit? They've spent the entire fucking episode in a bagel shop in like the 1327. Like I don't fucking understand what's happening right now. But
Oh,
You
it's
know.
like Bleach.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, animes have animes have a thing called an arc. That's always been a thing. And yeah, if you grew up with Dragon Ball Z, you knew it more as what they called a saga. So you would have the Saiyan saga, the Namek saga, the Android saga, the Cell saga, and that when you said that pertained to a range of episodes that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you can just like watch that on its own. You can almost watch the arc or the saga on its own. You wouldn't really need that much backstory. But that's usually what people would refer to. You go, oh yeah, you've seen the Namek saga. And you go, okay, yeah, that's like episodes like 20 to 35 that you're talking about.
There's like 500 or 600, maybe 700 episodes of Fairy Tale. At least 500, I'm positive. But and so maybe like every 3 episodes they do an entire episode on one character. And the lead cast of that show, God Jesus, like it's like 37 people. You know what I mean? So it's like
Oh, jeez.
every 3 episodes you're getting the main backstory, and you feel for it because not all these characters have plot armor. Like a lot of them do, but like there's so many main ones. Like they hook you. Like that like 1 or 2 of them, you're like, this guy's not going nowhere. He's on the picture of the last episode that was aired on the TV commercial. Like like 1 or 2, but everyone else is up for grabs, and it really gets you.
I never watched Tokyo Ghoul. I only read the manga. A friend of mine, or not even a friend, this more of an acquaintance really, he told me about it. I heard of it. He said the anime is okay, you need to read the manga. So I went and I read the manga from beginning to end, and I liked it. But there was this thing that they would do where they would just all right, so here's a raid on the humans, or here's a raid on the ghouls. Here are all these characters we're introducing, and don't worry about it. And they give you like a quick backstory, and then they kill them off. I go, why did I bother reading that text if you're just gonna kill them off? You had that experience with that one show, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they just do that with.
yeah, they just bring in fodder.
Oh, whenever they bring in new characters, it's like what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like the
killing
same
us.
thing in Star Trek. Like
One
You're
of
a
my
red shirt.
one of my favorite shows is Scrubs. I've seen every episode 17 times.
Mhm.
Like, is my favorite show. And so like when Grey's Anatomy was on, Scrubs was on. So like I saw the previews for Grey's Anatomy. I was like, oh, this is the real version of what I watch. I get it. You know what I mean? Because like I'm watching mine for it's like 45% medical, 35% comical, and 20% blah 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 haha. You know what I mean? Like it's really funny.
Don't people in the medical field prefer Scrubs over any other
probably.
hospital drama that's
I
out
would.
there? Because
I
I
don't
think for a number of reasons, one of them is more of the comedic relief, and then the other thing is that it's actually it's a more accurate show. It's actually a
They're
more accurate
I learned a
towards
lot
what
of
it's
shit
like
from
working at a hospital than it is those other shows where
Yeah, I
everyone's
don't
just
know,
having their drama.
Oh my god, I hate when in Grey's Anatomy they're like operating and they're all like having conversations while they're just doing stuff, and it's like quit talking about
No,
your.
I think one that I watched, they were having relationship problems because one was
Yes.
dating the other one's friend, and then they're like, well, you didn't do this. It's like, what do you mean I did this? No, you didn't, and blah blah blah. And I go, you got a guy's chest open on the table. Can you focus on? I wish I was the guy in the observing room that was like watching them operate on my family, and just be the guy that just like knocks on the window really hard and go, you have my brother's chest open. Can you focus here?
Can we wrap this part up, please? Oh man.
I don't want you guys leaving. I don't know, your fucking expensive $7,000 gold Rolex in his chest. That would be really nice.
Oh, so not to segue off movies here, but it just popped into me. LOL. I thought
Just
I
like a
thought it
baby
right
would,
Like the pineapple.
or the pineapple.
Yeah. I was thinking about Wilson, but so I went to a dentist for the first time in like 15 years, like 2 months ago. And they got checked out, got my first cleaning. That wasn't so bad. The little scrapey scrape was a little rough. But so I just had 5 cavities filled like I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And so I haven't done this yet. You guys ever had one filled?
I've had 2 in my lifetime filled. Now actually more 1, but my question to you is this. Would you like to take this question? Would you like to ask him it?
No,
You sure?
go ahead.
All right. Did you get porcelain fillings or mercury fillings?
We wouldn't get mercury.
I didn't sign the label for either.
Is it white stuff?
Uh-huh.
Then porcelain.
That's porcelain. So you want to be careful because I have mercury in my mouth.
They
Now,
stop-
this is cheaper, but the problem is it causes brain damage over years.
that's why they stopped doing it. They
Yep.
don't do it anymore.
What?
Yeah.
So what? Yours? How do you know? Like they put plastic like clips on my teeth and then put
Mhm.
this like stick in my mouth, and it was like wub 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 wub
Here.
wub.
Well,
And
mercury, like if he were to open his mouth, it would look all
You want to
like
see if we can get a
black
picture
and
of it
dark.
and we can send it to him really quick over the.
it's all good. I think.
no,
we
he doesn't
just-
need to see your mouth.
Yeah, he does.
No,
Hold on.
No.
but it's black and dark, so it's not silver and it's not gold like the Home Alone dude. We're talking. It's
It
black.
turns. It probably was silver at one point, but over time it degrades. It kind of rots,
and
it
you
turns.
can't just go to
black.
another dentist and be like, "Yo, Holmes, pop this out and slide."
They
me
can
in with
remove
some
it.
They
pussy."
They
can.
can remove it.
However, you run the risk of one thing that could happen is that when they're popping it off, some of the fillings can go back into your throat, and then you have mercury in your system for
Then
real.
you get mercury.
Then you get
poisoning.
mercury poisoning.
So you have to go to an ethical dentist that actually makes sure that they're catching that stuff as it's coming out of your.
And one of the
teeth
worst
so you
part
don't
is my
swallow
filling
it.
is near the back of my mouth, which is near my throat. It's not over here or over here. It's back over here. And as you can see, that's pretty close to my throat.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I didn't know they did mercury. No,
They
I
did.
In
was
the past, yeah.
I was segueing to this because like getting that whole shot thing. He like shot 1. Okay. We're done. Cool. Shot 2. Well, I hope we're done. Holy crap, this sucks. Shot 3. All right. Tears are coming out of my eyes. I'm looking the dentist in the eye. Like,
Or
bro.
puppy eyes.
I gave him the old eyes, like the Hawaiian eyes, but I opened
Ugh.
them. You know what I mean? The stink eye, but the good ones. And oh my God, 4 or 5 in each tooth. So he broke my mouth into 4 sections. It needs a bit of care. So he's doing like middle to back on each side. And so
Yeah.
I had 5 from my middle to my back on my top right, which is like 5 out of 8, which is pretty bad. But I'm not gonna lie, all my teeth are in my mouth and they don't hurt. So
That's what happens when you're on an Airheads diet. You need to stop eating Airheads, bro.
Seriously, you don't even know. I bought a whole box off Amazon, dude. I'm not even playing an entire. Like,
How did I call that?
It's already gone.
He's never talked about this on the
They're
show.
my favorite candy. It's
He's never talked about.
Candy.
I literally mean this. He's never talked about this on the show.
Leon, you just became psychic. Lottery numbers now.
13, 69, 69, 13, 12, 69.
I knew that was gonna be the 5th
What about
number.
42?
I'm apparently.
Oh shit, man!
No.
I didn't think about 42.
Oh no! Remove the second one.
Remember
you know common logic to when you build a lie and you like decide to lie to somebody, you only build a lie forwards. So like if you want to know if someone's lying and it's more than like a 3-point thing, ask them what their day was, and they'll be like, I woke up, I had breakfast, I met Steven, I went to work, I got home, I went to the bathroom,
Steven.
smoked the blunt. Now ask them to go backwards. Be like, all right, just start at the end of your night and work back. And they'll be like, I had a blunt, and they'll get like the first 2, of course. I had a blunt, and, I went to the bathroom. And they'll start, because like you don't build the lie backwards, you build it forwards. And it was just really funny. Like, I wanted to bring that up for fuck's sake. Because like
now I know for next time if I'm ever questioning someone, I can always
like,
tell me the story backwards.
Tell me it backwards, please.
Tell me the story backwards.
They're not going to be reasonable with you anyways. Like that's what I always hated about some of these sciences, is like you can't like look at someone and act like, hey, show me your insecurities. Huh? I'm looking. You know what I mean? Like you can't walk up to someone and start asking prying questions. You got to be like super savvy smooth. You know what I mean? You got to beat around the bush, hit them with a dumb question, then a funny little quip, and then you ask the real question. And then if it doesn't take well, another quip.
It's like when you ask someone to, the sobriety test is to tell them do your ZYXs, which is your ABC backwards.
I can't do that sober.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try this. ZYXVUTS
See, sounds right to me. I don't know.
That's the thing. Sounds right. By the time I had a pen and wrote it, I'm gonna give it to you. We'll give it to you.
I think they look at coherency. So,
No,
if you're pretty coherent.
Right? Yeah. How are they gonna know? Like, no, you said M before N. No, I didn't.
That's why I was very specific after when I went to O, I went N. I had to really pronounce it.
Nancy.
Because because when you get to LMN, you always want to just go right through it. LMN. It just flows so well.
It just flows so well.
It flows. So can you guys recommend any movies? We've been watching a bunch of movies, and we watched, like I said, Don't Breathe.
Serbian film.
I don't like films without clothes.
I don't know. What movie would you want to recommend? Like, what movies have we watched lately?
Have either of you seen The Shining?
Yeah, but I don't care for The Shining.
I remember the one I fell asleep
I've literally heard 5 out of 5 recommendations for that movie by like 10 different people.
And let me tell you something about The Shining. Besides the fact that it's got its moments of terror, that it's well done in terms of horror. However, I don't like Stanley Kubrick as a person. I think he's a terrible human being, and I don't understand why people dick ride him. Because he made life a misery for the actress in that movie.
No, I heard like that he won a world
so
record.
I never
he made an actress shoot one scene like 75 or 80 times or something.
She retired. She almost retired from acting just because of that, and she didn't want to do it. And Shelley Duvall almost had no career after that because she was just so traumatized by that whole thing. Yeah. And everyone goes, "Oh, he's an artist. He's a director." I go, "I don't give a fuck." You could even Hitler at one point was an artist. What's your goddamn point?
No, I know a broken clock's right twice a day. I get that, but I don't know. I'm an artist, and I relate to other artists. I don't relate by art necessarily, but it's where the art came from. Like I hate to say it, most of my favorite comedians, my favorite artists as musicians, and even a lot of my favorite writers and people who paint, all of them have, I hate to say it in a like way to myself, severe trauma. Like they're not PTSD like pity party, but they're pretty fucked up, But
I get that, but sometimes you have to find a fine line that where you're being a straight up terrible human being to others, and you have to, and I can give you an example. Pablo Picasso. Everyone talks about Pablo Picasso. I see him quoted.
What's wrong with him?
Oh my
that's what
god!
I would
Besides
bring
the
up
fact
as
that he was
famous artist.
besides the fact that he was a misogynist, the fact that like he shunned his wife and his daughter and actually paid. This is a real
aren't you
thing.
being eraist?
What?
Like the eraist? Like did he
Eraist?
did ever
I don't
that
get-
was like a thing, isn't it? You know,
Is
so
he
that's
the
like
era?
being
No.
mad at someone for having a slave
Making
when
up words
slavery
again.
was a thing.
No, I'm not being an errorist. No, Pablo Picasso was a terrible human being that was really bad.
In what day and age? Not in 2021, right? He was a terrible person.
No,
in
terrible no matter terrible no
1874,021.
matter what. You know, the fact that he did what he did to his daughter, that was terrible. And you're talking like what, the 60s at this point?
But he's alive in the 1960s.
He was, yeah, I believe so. Pablo Picasso's not, it's not that old. You know, he's
I-
not from like the 17th century or something.
I
I
thought he
don't know.
was. I
No,
I
he
don't know.
wasn't.
I thought he painted like the Sistine Chapel back when religions
No.
ruled the world. Not
No,
That's
that's not
yeah, that's
him.
Michelangelo.
okay.
No, it's
well, they-
Michelangelo.
They both own paint.
Yeah,
brushes.
look,
Don't
Ninja
distinguish them
Here,
too much.
here, look. All right, guy, I'm reading it right here on his page. He was born in 1881 and died in
Okay.
1973. So yeah, I don't care what
Okay.
era you in. You don't treat your children like shit.
No, you got me. He's close enough to us that he could have had obedience.
No, he was just a straight up misogynist, and I don't care, because even Salvador Dali wasn't like that.
Who's that?
Salvador Dali is famous surrealist painter.
The one with like the melting clocks.
Yeah, the
and
melting
eggs.
clocks. Erica,
Hey,
back me up.
Like the bench that has the melting clock on it.
Yeah, you ever seen that? Bench with
Maybe.
melting? Okay.
That's what he has the crazy mustache.
Yeah, here.
I've seen lots of people with a crazy mustache. So it's like
Well,
every.
he's known for it though. Not
Yeah,
everyone
his-
is known for it.
Literally his
Like
his
it's
curly.
his trademark. Like he's the one.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna bring up Salvador Dali, and then I'm gonna request screen sharing really quick, and we can keep talking about this.
we
Host
can keep
disabled.
talking about it.
Talking.
Okay, can you give me screen sharing permissions? It says host disables screen sharing. Yeah, so give me quick permissions. Yeah, I'll show you quick Salvador Dali and some of his stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, and Salvador Dali is another one. I think he died.
I can't figure out how to let you share, so I just
Yep,
made
found
you
it.
host.
Oh, okay, so we'll do it like this. We'll just do my whole screen, and I'll just show you really quick. Booyah! All right, so this is Salvador Dali, the actual artist.
I don't know if I've ever seen that guy. I'm not gonna
All right.
lie.
No, it's totally fine. His museum is down in St. Petersburg, which is not far from us at all. We've been, and his stuff is super incredible. And yeah, let's see. So this is one of his right here. I don't know if I can make it bigger. I'll do my best over here.
No.
But
We all try.
yeah, so this is one
Oh, I
that he
remember that one.
painted. Yeah.
He's even in
Yeah,
it.
I've definitely never seen that.
Yeah, okay. But let me see if I can find the melting clocks. I think it was called
Those are the more common ones.
that
that
one's one of his
everybody
more
knows.
yeah, that's one of the ones that people really know from him. Is I think it's called Relativity, something like that.
There's some melting clocks there.
Yeah, but that's like that's an homage to
There's
it.
that one. That
That-
one's really well known
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Found it.
with the horse.
Found it. So this is one of his more famous paintings. I believe it's called Relativity. I might be wrong on that.
Rise.
Yeah, so this is the one with the melting clocks. You'll usually sometimes see this as someone will usually have this up somewhere. But yeah, this is what he's known for. It's what they call surreal art.
No, it's brilliant. Like I can't even deny he's a wicked talented artist. Like that's crazy. That's a horse though.
Well, no.
No, it's
a
actually a
face.
person's, it's like a person's face or something like that.
Look like a horse from a
You can actually,
distance.
if you're ever down in St. Pete, you can do the whole audio tour and it explains exactly, you know, what he was doing, and even his interpretations and what he was going for in each painting that he did. Or you can interpret yourself, because that's what art usually is.
No,
So
that's pretty
usually-
crazy. I didn't know anything about the other guy's
Mhm.
terrible family.
Yeah.
that's-
I'm not big into Picasso. I actually boycotted the Dali Museum when they were showing his stuff. I was like, I'm not gonna go to Picasso. I think he's a dick.
He was one of my tent pole names to pull an artist. Like if I'm gonna pull a name, it would have been
Right,
Michelangelo
you do-
or Picasso. I would have been like, what do you think? You're fucking
Who do you
Picasso?
Is that who we saw when we did that exhibit?
No, it
Van
was actually
Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Is it Goth or Go?
It's
It's
Gough.
Van Gogh.
I heard it on Doctor Who. It's pronounced Van Gogh.
Well, how do you say
I'm gonna go
Van
by
or
the
Thal?
doctor.
Is it tall or thal? No idea. We're out on that one. Incalculable. Jury's out.
Yeah, jury's out.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah.
So not a fan of The Shining. What I'm
Oh, I
getting
thought
is
of 2 movies.
She died of 2 movies, a Serbian film.
No, no Serbian films. Get over that. What was the one movie that we watched? You showed me. It was the girl who was deaf and she was in the house.
Hush.
That one is really good.
what
I've
is
seen
it?
Erica's seen
that.
it.
Okay, then what about that other one we watched with the zombies and it was the
Mhm.
guy in his apartment?
Alone.
That one's also
Hashtag
good.
alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
Hashtag alone. right?
Hashtag alone. It is
That one's good.
it's a Korean zombie film.
Oh, I love that one.
Actually,
A
Korean
cool.
zombie. Yeah, Korean zombie films are really good. Or really,
really
really
are.
good.
I like the Train to Busan. Too.
Yeah, Train to Busan's good. We
Oh,
still
I
need to
saw that
watch-
one. It was super good.
You like the hashtag alone. Then.
There's a sequel
That
to
one's
it
good.
as well, by the way, if you want to watch it. It's called Train to Peninsula Presents the Peninsula, which it's my favorite horror movie that's presented by a train. Besides
Whoa.
Thomas the Engine.
My favorite that's presented by a train.
Yeah, a locomotive, if you will.
Like it's shown on the side of one. There's cameras in it, or
No,
there's
like the
TVs in it.
like the train, like
Is
you know,
presenting
yeah,
it?
presenting it. He produced it. You know, he really put in the real risk and funds, and he really believed in this project.
The train just wanted to pull it
It's like
off.
I could really can, man. I just want some of the capitalist investments on this one.
No, I definitely. I get the sense you don't like a movie if people were harmed in the making.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I have trouble watching certain parts of the Twilight Zone movie because of the 2 kids and the guy that got decapitated by the helicopter in that one scene.
What? Why that really happened?
Yeah, that really happened. So not Max Landis, John Landis, I think his name is, whatever. He had this one segment in the movie where it was about this guy who was racist and very bigoted, and then he gets thrown into, you know, different parts of the time, and he's actually not a white person, even though he sees himself as a white person. Everyone else is seeing him, whatever ethnicity at the time, being mistreated. And one of the ones is that he was in Vietnam and he was being shot at by American Marines and soldiers, and he had these 2 kids that he found and was trying to run away, and during that, like, a helicopter on set literally landed on them. And yeah.
So that wasn't in the
Yikes.
movie. That was just what
They
happened.
took that part out of the movie, and Steven Spielberg has refused to ever work with this guy ever again. And yeah, it was like a whole thing.
So it was another director's fault that
because there's a whole story to it where it goes,
he gave the pilot of the helicopter cocaine and then gave him coffee and was like, "You need to fly now."
One of them was child labor laws because it was 2 underage kids, and the fact they were shooting at night when they should have waited towards the next day so they can actually get the shot at night, but like somewhere at a more safer time. So there was all these things that were policies that were kind of being violated, but he was able to get out of it and acquitted from the charges, I think, because he's not in jail at all.
That's insane though. So a helicopter landed on people on set.
Yeah,
Jeez.
3 people, an adult and 2 children.
That's
So
terrible.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, I when I know something, that's one of the reasons why I don't watch Roman Polanski movies. Fuck that pedophile. I'm not gonna watch anything that he's done.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is. What has he made anything? that I've seen?
Oliver Twist was one of his other movies. Oh my goodness, shit, I can't remember anything else by him because like I said, I don't watch anything by him. And when I see, as soon as he's the director, I immediately go, no, I'm good. I don't need to watch this freaking pedophiles. Like
I really like the guy who made Don't Breathe. The first one that he made
Mhm.
was just like and Erica brought it up to me and she was totally right. That like flash on an item in a room and then it doesn't come up for like 15 minutes and then they flash on it again and you're like, ooh, and they built a climax, they built the climax staircase for you to be, oh my God. And I'm not gonna lie, there's moments where if I was like 4 bad guys, 1 kid in a greenhouse, no exit, everyone has guns, good guys don't. You're like, okay, this movie's done in fucking 3 minutes, but I know it started 8 minutes ago. There's no way it's over. How does this happen? And it's like, they don't really do anything too unrealistic. They really don't. They just, they make the circumstances for out of, you know, 100 scenarios of something happening, you getting the best role of all of them. Like they give you that. They're not John Wicking you, where like they make you a superhero. But I'm not gonna lie, you can't walk through a room and just dismantle 80. Like you can do that to a degree, but like they gave him a few climactic leniencies. Is all I'm saying. But
Fair enough. I can't think of any other movies that like I can just outright recommend. Oh, Battle of Los Angeles. That's a good one.
Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I liked Knives Out.
Knives Out was great.
That was funny.
I mean, the guy ruined Star Wars, but he made a really good movie.
Knives Out. What's that one about?
It's a mystery film. You want to tell it?
Oh, you can tell it.
No, I want to hear your voice.
I don't remember what these things are about. I just remember that I liked
So
it.
the synopsis is about this famous well-earned mystery author, and he dies under mysterious circumstances, and everybody that at that party had probably some motive, and the whole thing is about the interrogation of each family member that was connected to him, and then the plot starts to unfold and things kind of start coming into light. It's very well done, very well paced movie.
Very Clue-esque.
Yeah, and I remember we watched it on the day of our engagement party.
Yeah, we didn't know that we were
Because
having
your
an engagement
dad
party.
was trying to do everything he can to keep us out of the damn house. And I was he's like, hell, he's like, let's go see this movie, Knives Out. I heard it was good. And I said, yeah, I'd be down to watch it.
And said that they had people over cleaning the house for like to get rid of some like fumes or something to keep us out of the house. It's really stupid.
It was very well done until the surprise was kind of ruined by the fact that like their friend was in the window just doing something, and I went, oh, there's people in the house. I guess there's a surprise going on. But the real surprise was when my family showed up out of nowhere. That was really sweet.
And then my cousin from from New Hampshire.
Her name is Michelle. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Brownie points. We'll high five
Freaking
later.
Nailed it. Well, I have like 47 cousins, so she's got to remember all that.
Yeah, my family, it's me and my parents.
Right. And then for me, I got like 8 aunts. I got 8 aunts and uncles, and I got about 20 something cousins at this point. I got 6, 7 brothers.
Yeah, see, besides my daughter, there's not a single person in my bloodline within like 175 miles. So it's like, for me, it's like when I met Erica, she's got a big family and they're all wicked nice. So it's like, oh, I've got enough room in my arms for this. I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have family out here. I'm very, very lenient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like hiring families. Hello.
The
Application.
other day, he went up to my twin.
What's your twin's name?
Emma.
Oh,
it only happened once. I was looking at the floor, and the scenario, it was a violation of expectation. Normally, so when we're there, her twin lets us like stay in her room so we can sleep together, as opposed to like, so she can sleep with, her daughter. And nonetheless, her sister comes in the room, and normally she stands in the hallway like lurking, waiting and watching, and like I'll catch her out my peripheral and be like, hey, and so I'm used to that. And so instead of that, she came in the room and her sister was in the hallway. And so I was like looking at the floor, and I walk out and get like 6 inches in and then look up. I'm like, oh, 180. And I went back to her. But it was just really funny because like I swear I was gloating that would never happen like 16 hours ago. But
yeah. Well, it sounds like you pulled that one in, bud.
He did.
Pun intended.
yeah, no, I blame sleepiness.
That's fair.
I'm glad you don't have twins.
I mean, I will. Yeah, I don't have any twins, but and my wife here does not find any of my brothers attractive.
They're mirror twins, and so the first thing I pointed out was like they were sitting at the dinner table on the first night, and I'd never seen twins, and so I'm looking at them both, and I'm like, okay, we gotta set some ground rules here visually, so I don't fuck this
Just
up.
use a marker on one of them.
No, their noses are opposite, bro. My babe's points right, you know what I mean, and hers points left or whatever. But like oh yeah, so hers is left, but when I'm looking at her, it points right.
Yeah,
and
I
then
got
her
you.
sister's
Camera
is
right. I got
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So like I know that, but when I'm looking at feet, I gotta get them like Halloween's gonna suck. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell you, feet all day. I can really tell everyone's feet apart. I'm really good at that.
Well, you don't have twins in your house, so I hope not. Are you the ghost or are you my girl?
It's pretty easy here.
And then you can start doing couples things. You're doing all your couple things together. Like Haley and I are going to be doing another convention next Saturday.
We re-looked up your outfits from the picture where you guys went and took pictures all dressed up. I re-looked them up today because I was just like, we're doing a couple thing with them. Let's look at what they look like again. You know
Blue.
what I mean? Yeah, no, you went all out. Holy crap! Like your costume.
I wanted to see if I could do it.
That was 10 out of 10. I think.
And
I haven't even seen Star Wars, but I played enough video games to recognize that character was dead balls on.
Well, I will tell you that we met that actress from Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and she really loved her costume. She was all about it. She sees fans dress up as her character from the show, and it's all right. Great Ahsoka Tano. I love it so much. She's a very positive person. She sees her costume and she's like, oh my God, that's so good. And then I tell her, and I go, it's her first time even doing that. She goes, wait, what? She was just even more impressed.
Did you guys get a picture of you two next to each other?
Oh yeah. With Ashley. Hell yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome. You gotta send us that. We gotta.
Well, I jumped into one with her because to get a picture with her, you had to pay how much was it?
$60 to get a picture with her.
Yeah, but because I was dressed the way I was, she was with all these other Star Wars characters. So I ran across the room and jumped in, and I got some free pictures just because I was a Star Wars person.
And then she did the question you asked at her one panel earlier that day. She really liked that one. And you saw that it was very thought provoking for her. She's like, oh no. And that's right. What did I think of her when I first?
She lit up when she answered it. She
oh my God, I love that.
It's fun. She's really sweet.
Poor guy, poor Brett Erwin, the voice that they gave us, kept going, I have to stop calling Star Wars guys. They keep asking you questions and nothing.
Well, I felt bad when we were all in line for her, and then poor Anakin. Yeah, nobody in line for him.
He had a line earlier that day.
I know, but it was gone.
It was
everyone was there for her. Ahsoka Tano.
I mean, everybody was there for Ahsoka Tano. I mean, you looked at other people's lines, and they weren't as full as hers. I think the only one that was equivalent to that was Rufio.
We were in that line for 2 hours?
2 hours. And we made friends. We made friends. Because that's the only way you're going to survive being in line that long.
I feel like we got a child too. Remember that little girl?
It's a funny thing to walk away from a conversation with. I met Joseph and his wife, Stacy. We also took their daughter.
Yeah. She now lives with us in the cabinet.
I put my tentacle on her and she came home with me.
Pause.
What do you not call the thing on her head? Were they not tentacles?
The head tails?
The leku.
Yeah, they're called lekus.
They look like blue octopus arms.
I get that.
Okay. As long as we're on the same boat. There was no suction cups, but they were there.
Right. I got you. No. Totally got you. Yeah, but cool. So we're adjusting up next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. We're going to another one in Ocala, which is about over
Ocala.
Yeah, Ocala. It's over an hour. Girl, I'm saying something. I'm saying words right now.
Girl, I'm in the mix right now. You messing up the flow. I'm gonna pop the trunk on you.
I'm ticklish.
I know. Why do you think I'm doing it?
Stop. Anyway, so we're going to Ocala. So we're going to this one. We're going to this one, and we're dressing up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters. We're doing Casey Jones and April O'Neil. So if you're familiar,
they're not. If they're not one of the four shells, you lost me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, April O'Neil is definitely part of the group.
But
she's like the one girl in the show.
She's the only girl on the show.
The only girl in the show.
Yeah, for real.
What was her plot device? Was she the one who found the turtles?
Yeah.
The news reporter.
Okay.
She was the news reporter.
The news reporter.
Yeah.
In the yellow jumpsuit.
In the yellow jumpsuit. She had She had a microphone.
In my mind, I can't remember any of the microphone. I can't remember any of the cartoons. I only remember the live action movie, and I don't remember which. But there was a big skyscraper, and they lived in the sewer in a train. I don't remember.
Now, when you say you saw the live action, are you talking about the Michael Bay live action? Or are you talking about the ones from 1989 and 91?
It looked pretty good. I bet it was Bay. You know.
I'm good. I'm good on those. I don't really watch anything from Michael Bay either.
Why, bro? If you don't get on the Transformer train,
I mean,
Optimus
Transformers
Prime
is
coming for you.
terrible. I thought
Dude,
those
what
were
is
horrible.
wrong? Dude, Shia LaBeouf will lick you. What are you doing?
I don't care about Shia LaBeouf. His
What
That's
is
my
wrong with
favorite
you?
number.
He's got holes in him.
so what? Good for him.
That's
It was
awesome.
it was a good movie. I'll give you
It's
that.
good. It was a good movie.
But Transformers is a trash movie. I don't care for it. Sorry.
It's not. You say that like it's 16 minutes of your life. There is over like there's like 9 hours of Transformer footage. You're making me
I
shake.
don't. You know what? I don't really care, especially when one of your movies has to cover 5 minutes of plot time to explain Romeo and Juliet laws. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, I don't care that you're 21
They should have
dating a
used
17. Who
7.
cares? Because Michael Bay himself also sexually harasses all the women that are on set. So I'm cool on that too.
Well, okay. So are you telling me right now you have a problem with the Hunger Games? Because I personally have very good knowledge that there's a good chance she slept with the director to get that role, because there was a lot of other people who were more likely to get the role, and then she slid in.
Never
Not
seen
pun
I've
intended.
never seen the Hunger
Oh
Games.
my!
I've only read
He slid in, but whatever.
I've only read the book, and after the first book I went, I'm good. I don't need to read the other ones anymore.
Bro, they were so good. First of all, the books I heard
I did like the book.
were more gory.
I liked the books too.
The books are way gory.
They're
The way they
they're
killed
so
off
much
Rue
better.
in the movie was terrible.
I was so mad about the mutts. I'm still mad about those mutts. They were supposed to look like the tributes.
I know.
I was so mad.
and
didn't.
Rue and Katniss, when she encounters Rue getting killed by that one guy, it wasn't just like I don't know how she died in the movie. Do you remember? Because I never seen
Yeah,
it.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
She's supposed
but-
to lose her hearing from that explosion.
Yeah,
in one
and then but Rue is trapped up in one of those like hanging nets, and a guy sees her and takes a spear and stabs her multiple times until she dies, and Katniss comes in the middle of that.
No, I remember she gets brutally killed. In my mind, it's an axe, but nonetheless, I know that she was in a proximity to people, and Katniss was eyes on.
I mean, I like Hunger Games better when it was called Battle Royale, but
I did
Bro,
like
I'm
the second
telling you,
movie better.
it was so good. I'm
I
not
did like that.
It was so
The
good.
second one
Like
was good.
that holds up for me as one of the most controversial like story twists at the end. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like there was a distinct moment where I was like, I know how this movie's ending, credits are gonna roll, thinking about the bottom of this popcorn bin and then washing my hands, like, you know what I mean? And then click 100% of
Point.
the story changes.
Did you read the newest book that they did? With there's like another book that they did. It's from
I haven't read any of the books.
Oh, okay.
Everyone I've talked to
I've
was
read
like,
all
the
of them.
books are amazing.
Yeah, but did you read like the one that just came out where it was like about Snow's perspective?
No.
Yeah. I didn't
I mean,
read that
they
one
made
yet.
they made you like him in the end. I'm not gonna lie. Like he knew what was happening long
was
before the
interesting.
end.
But yeah, they did have a story where it's about like him, I think, when he's younger.
Yo,
And,
Prim rocked me in that last book.
oh, is it kind of like so it's from another person's? Is it from like the first book?
It's that one guy. Was it President Snow, or I
Yeah,
forgot what
yeah.
they called
Yeah,
him?
Yeah, he
President
was
President
Snow.
Snow.
he was
But
the
it's-
initial bad guy.
But it's the whole thing from the whole. Really? Oh, that's
It's from
really
his
interesting.
perspective.
So have you guys ever read the Enders series?
no.
I've read
They made it
the
into
first one.
movie, and it was kind of like lackluster. Ender's Game.
I thought
and-
that was a good movie. I really like. Well, I went in with no expectations, and then I read the book, the first book. It was
well,
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
my only issue with the movie was the fact that he was 10 years old. I'm like, no, he's supposed to be like 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the book he's 7 years old, and in the movie he's 12 because they just you can't work with it's difficult to work with actors that young.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's being and Bean is like 4 or 5 years old in the book, and yeah, and in the original story it's very violent, and it's very violent, and it's very well written. But Ender's Game, and then there's Ender's Shadow, which is the whole story of Ender's Game, but told from Bean's perspective. And I heard it's really, a lot of people say they prefer it over the first book. So it's like one of those things. That's what that made me think of when you told me that. And I thought that's really interesting, because I like it when an author can do that, can just show you like, well, here's a whole another viewpoint of that story. That's cool. I didn't know
Yeah, I specifically loved in the last Hunger Games when, I mean, I think it's been out for a while. I don't think we need to worry about spoilers. But if you haven't seen it, that's spoilers.
Yeah, you can tell me. I don't care.
No, but so like part of the art of war comes into it, like the understanding of perceptions in battle. How if you're the bad guy and the you know the rebels or whatever the retaliatory army is coming to attack you, if the leader of the bad guys, so to the leader of the people attacking the state, you know, the
Right.
people you know, in the retaliation, if their leaders kill and hurt people from both sides, it's only going to turn the people on the you know the bad side, the people who are defending themselves, as opposed to turning the will of the people who are attacking. And like, so to speak, you know, they bomb all the kids, they put all the kids and all the adults or all the moms or whatever in the front gate, leading them to a safe place, but don't open the gate. And then the supposedly the good guy who's like the leader of Katniss, like her group, she bombs in a plane of the enemy all the kids, and that turns all of the guards of the who was supposed to be the bad people against everyone. And so now it's like 99% of the forces of everyone is going after Snow, as opposed to like Snow's army turned on him because they killed all Snow's kids too, you know, like all the militant kids. And it's like
Interesting.
It was just wicked fucked up, because like the perceptual, like you don't kill hundreds of people without knowing you're gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, it was a psychological trope that they knew if we strategically try to save people, people will go with it, and then people will get to a spot to be safe. And if we block the spot to be safe, like blocking the only alley out, and then we kill them all, it's not going to hurt our side. You know what I mean? It's just it got me, man. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I can see. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that's how that.
You're forgetting that they rigged it, so the bombs went off a second time too.
Oh yeah, see, they're double bastards.
Booyah!
Booyah.
You know, another one that I couldn't get into was Ready Player One. Now
I haven't
read
seen it.
I knew you were
Heard
gonna
great
bring that
things
one
about
up.
Yeah,
it.
I did read the book. I liked the book a lot. There were some parts of it that I'm like, did the author really need to do that kind of thing? And then, but other than that, I enjoyed the book. Then they made it into a movie, and I just had, as soon as I saw the trailer, I went, I don't need to watch this.
Have you seen it?
She's seen it.
I
definitely.
liked it, but I
And my
never read the
and
book
then-
though.
And so did my dad. My dad loved it. All my
Joe
brothers loved
Joe Rogan loved it. He brings it up all the time. Like, that's going to be just like Ready Player One, and like it's a pretty tentpole, thing for him to relate to when it comes to like video games.
Right. And I don't mind certain changes from book to adaptation. However, I do have a problem when it's there is a bit of importance in the story. Kind of like how they didn't use the correct cat in the first Hunger Games movie. That's how I felt about Ready Player One, because the main character was supposed to be a chubby kid. And he was you got this Justin Bieber looking One Direction motherfucker in it's like, oh, I'm a nerd. No, fuck you. And then the girl, the love interest in the story, she was supposed to have a birthmark, and she only had part of her eye only had the birthmark, something like that.
It looked like an attractive,
kind
of
where
like,
in the story,
disfigurement.
in the story, it was the birthmark she had was more of a disfigurement that covered her one whole side of her face down her neck. So when I saw that they only did that, I just went, no, you're clearly trying to make people look more attractive because you're trying to sell tickets. In all honesty, Steven Spielberg, you can suck a dick.
That's a good note to do outros on. But you got anything you want to plug, man? This was certainly fun, and we definitely have to see if someday we do something like this with 6 of us. Spencer and then us and you and.
Yeah, hopefully he gets his chickens properly this time. I would like him to bring chickens.
Oh, I want to see the chicken. A live one.
A live
Not a
chicken.
dead one.
Do you want to plug anything? You have stuff to plug.
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Mhm.
All right, follow her on Haley Makes Stuff on Gram, as well as Kitsu Cosplay, which is spelled KITSU Cosplay. And then, of course, you can follow me on the Insta, which is alternative_Zen, and then Twitter, alternative Zen, which is one word. And then, of course, my blog, Still Foxes. So if I remember correctly, that is stillfoxes.home.blog. That's my blog, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's all underneath the freaking show. And thank you very much, Haley, and thank you, Erica.
Thank you, Erica.
Super fun. This was way easier than leaving her for an hour. I can't do. I told her I was gonna have to record 15-minute segments because I can't do an
Do it all
hour.
the time with you.
I'm glad I didn't have to
Actually-
sit outside on the other side of the door this time.
Actually, matter of fact, it's her and the cats that wait outside for me.
We listen on the other side of the door.
As soon as I open up that door, 2 cats are going to be meowing at me.
I remember watching that in one of the older videos. I watched you guys say that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. No. Everyone. Well, everyone. Thank you and wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye. And don't forget to
Bye.
check out our other segment, Space. It's made in a Hollywood basement.
Absolutely different playlist on the channel. Everyone have a good day.
Deuces.